Okay, so I'm talking about freedom today. Something that's been on my mind a lot lately, and I woke up this morning thinking a lot about it. And I was writing down some notes, which I even brought with me because I get sidetracked so easily. So I've been thinking about freedom because I've never felt so free in my life right now to do what I want, to be exactly who I want, to just live full out and like completely myself, and like it's such a wonderful thing and I love it. And so I've been thinking a lot about this idea of freedom. Because before this, it had always been something like this overused term that didn't really mean anything to me. So like growing, and I always like associated with either like in relation to slavery, like growing up learning about it in school, or also like this American idea of like this is a free country, freedom of speech, those kind of things. Now like I feel really free, and I'm like, like this is wonderful. This is what everyone's been talking about, freedom. So this is what I name my business. My new program is Energize, Find Freedom, and Love Your Business right now, because I think a lot of us as business owners, part of the appeal of starting your own business is to have that freedom, to be able to do what you want and when you want, and to make things exactly how you want. And then when we get into our businesses, and it's not like that at all, we find ourselves maybe even having less freedom, that feeling of freedom. And so like this has been like a big thing for me lately, like, oh no, like this is possible, you can have freedom in your business, this is wonderful. So that's why I named my program that. And so the whole idea, like I'm talking about mental freedom here, like not a physical type of freedom, although that's something too. It's not, that's not what I'm talking about. It's not like you're physically trapped somewhere or anything. That's more of like a mental free, like how you're feeling, how like emotionally, spiritually, mentally, like an internal type of freedom. And then like thinking about this got me thinking about Nelson Mandela. He was in prison for 27 years, came out, became president of South Africa, and pardoned everyone. And that got me, like, he was literally physically in prison, not free, but it's probably safe to say he had this like mental, like this internal freedom. So that's a whole nother thing. But okay, so like the certain things I was thinking of though is, do you feel free to live how you want, to be exactly who you want at all times, to make decisions entirely by yourself? Do you feel free in your business to run it exactly how yourself and be exactly how you want to be, and not just copying what someone else is doing or emulating them? Which those things are fine, those can be good. It's really helpful to look at what other people are doing and what's working. But are you being so like, I have to do it this way because it's worked for other people this way, instead of just doing what feels good and exciting to you and having that freedom to do that? So if you don't feel free, why not? And what excuses are you using for not feeling free? You can't feel free because of work, or you can't feel free because of your kids, or because it's raining outside, or because you don't have the time, or you don't have the money. And those are probably the two biggest ones, time and money, for like everything. Two biggest excuses. And the thing with money is too, like it is really great because it does give us freedom in some ways too, like freedom to do more things and have more possibilities maybe. But you could have all the money in the world and still not feel free. I mean, you might have a ton of money and then feel actually less free because now you have more responsibility. Maybe it's how you're feeling, more responsibility, more expectations, more taxes to pay, like all kinds of things that would keep you from feeling free. So it's a really interesting idea. It's like internally, like, do you feel free? And if not, why? Okay, so what about in your business? So why don't you feel free in your business? Do you have too much work? Do you have not enough work? So you're saying like, oh, I have to keep working so that I get more work. Do you have too much to do every day? Do you have too many balls to juggle? Do you feel like maybe you have to always be on or putting on a persona? It's an interesting thing. So I was thinking about all these things, and when I had my photography business and then had adrenal fatigue and like stress related health issues, I felt like I had to constantly always be working to get the business going, to build momentum, to do all this. And I think like my thinking was, okay, like I have to do all this now, get it all going, then I'll have the freedom. And like I didn't think that like specifically like that clearly, but that was like the idea I had in mind. Like once I do all this, then I'll have that freedom. But then once in a while, like I would think like, oh, like I'm working so much now. When I do have a lot of clients, I'm still gonna have to do these things to get business. How is it like? How will I even be able to handle that? One of the other things, let's see, learning how to do everything as a first-time business owner, that was another thing for me. Like, okay, like there's so much I have to learn. Like I don't know how to do any of this, so I have to like learn how to do it all. And they were like, I'd learn one thing and it's like now there's like 10 other things I have to learn. Like that kept me from feeling free, feeling like I had to be really professional. And to me, that whole idea of being professional is like someone who is kind of like slick and like glossy looking. I don't know if that even makes sense, but that's how I think of it. But kind of like kind of robotic. Like I think of like professional people, like what is seen as professional as being kind of like robotic almost and putting on a front. When I was photographing hotels, I photographed like all like varying ranges of levels. What's the word I'm thinking of? I photographed like all different types of hotels. And what I noticed was, even though it was nice to stay at the nice hotels, those were the very like professional people compared to like the crappiest hotels that I stayed at, like the like budget hotels, and the ones that were like the worst ones I stayed at, they always had the nicest people. Like really, like I think back to like those people, the hotels were terrible, but the people were so nice, and they were not what anyone would consider professional. But so friendly. I really got to know them. They'd talk to me. They were just themselves. Like they'd introduce me to their families. A lot of them were usually like family-run businesses. They'd invite me to have like tea. Sometimes they even brought food down for me, or they'd buy like pizza for us all to have. Like give me drinks during the day. Someone gave me a gift certificate. I went to this one hotel, this Super 8, in somewhere in like central Pennsylvania, and I went into my room, and she had this huge gift basket for me, filled with stuff with a card that said, "Amy, hey, like, I know you're working, but I hope you get to enjoy your stay while you're here." Like, how nice is that? Compared to when I was at, like, these nicer hotels, that's who was, like, most, like, robotic, and it's like they wouldn't let me, like, get close to them. I'd try and, like that's why I enjoyed, like, talking to them and getting to know them, and they, like, wouldn't let me. It was like, no, professional, like, oh, that's great. And then a very fake, like, front that they would put on, and they like a sliver of their personality, like, their true selves out. So that was something that, like, to go back to freedom, that was something that I thought I had to be when in my first business. Like, I had to kind of like be a little more serious. I was still myself, but like I felt like I had to be a little more serious and like put together and have that kind of like persona or like front on. So those were the things that were keeping me from feeling free. So now to go to like how do you get to this place of freedom then? And this is interesting because it's not like something that you can just say like here's a formula and you can do it. It's going to be a little different for everyone, but it does all have to do with mindset, beliefs, and like limiting yourself. Like, how are you limiting yourself? Because this is like entirely like an internal thing. And it's not like I can just give you like 3 steps. Like, okay, do this, then do this, then do this. Freedom. It's not something like that. It's you have to go through this whole internal shift, really. And it is possible, and it doesn't have to be hard, but you have to know how to do it, and it is going to be different for everyone. So until you change those like beliefs and your mindset, and to break out of some of those chains that you've put on yourself, you're not going to find that freedom. You're going to continue to be stuck. So this is like what I've been thinking about a lot lately, and it gets me really jazzed up. Like I get really excited thinking about it, and just kind of like marvel about my own freedom now and how much fun it is just to like be doing things how I want to be doing and like to be completely myself. Like it's a lot of fun. So that's what I have for you today. I'm curious though, like what do you feel like keeps you specifically from feeling free? And also, like, maybe you don't always have freedom, like complete freedom, but maybe there are times, like, are there any times in your life where you do feel free, like every now and then, like in a certain place or like doing something in particular? That's a good one. That's a big one. I have such good questions. Like, do you have any times or like moments in your life where you're doing something or you're with someone where you do have that freedom? And like, how can we expand on that? So I'd love if you commented below and shared some of those things with me. I'd be really interested in hearing them. And make sure to subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.